The long-running television institution, Wheel of Fortune, is in the midst of its most significant transition in decades, and the ripple effect is already stirring a wave of reaction that few could have anticipated. With Ryan Seacrest stepping into the host role following the retirement of Pat Sajak, fans of the beloved game show were prepared for some adjustments, but what has unfolded in recent weeks has sparked heated debate and left many longtime viewers unsettled. Seacrest's recent on-air change, which some fans are labeling awful, has triggered an outpouring of concern on social media, entertainment forums, and even from within the industry itself, fueling a conversation about whether the show can maintain its identity in a new era. For more than 4 decades, Wheel of Fortune represented comfort television, an evening ritual in countless households across America, where Pat Sajak and Vanna White's effortless rapport anchored the show through cultural shifts, network changes, and countless contestant spins. Sajak's exit was always going to be monumental, but Ryan Seacrest, armed with years of hosting experience from American Idol and Live with Kelly and Ryan, was supposed to be the safe choice, the polished professional who could keep the wheel spinning while ensuring continuity. Yet, just months into his tenure, the decision to implement subtle but noticeable stylistic changes has left a portion of the fan base uneasy. The specific change at the center of the storm has to do with Seacrest's adjustment to how he delivers contestant introductions and interacts during gameplay. Unlike Sajak's reserved, often witty but understated approach, Seacrest has chosen to infuse more energy, commentary, and frequent interjections, often guiding contestants in ways that some feel are overly rehearsed or distracting. Instead of allowing the wheel and puzzle solving to speak for themselves, Seacrest has added layers of dialogue and narration, something fans say throws off the pacing and alters the rhythm of a show built on tradition. One viral clip showcased Seacrest stepping in mid-round to offer encouragement in a way that many felt undercut the suspense of the spin, with comments like, "He makes it about him instead of the game," circulating widely on X, formerly Twitter. These small but impactful changes are being dissected in online communities where viewers who have been loyal to the show for decades feel that a sacred formula is being tampered with. On Reddit's Wheel of Fortune discussion board, threads analyzing Seacrest's delivery style run dozens of comments deep, with longtime fans pointing out how what might seem like a minor tweak to casual viewers actually disrupts the heart of the program. One fan lamented, "Pat understood the power of silence. He let the wheel spin and the tension build. Ryan doesn't seem to get that, and it feels forced." Others are less critical of Seacrest personally but view the shift as part of a broader trend of networks trying to modernize legacy programs at the expense of their charm. Industry insiders note that Seacrest's background as a live event and radio personality makes him predisposed to filling airtime, but game shows require restraint, a skill that doesn't always come naturally. What makes the situation more complicated is that Seacrest himself has acknowledged the pressure of filling Sajak's shoes. In interviews prior to his debut, he expressed both excitement and humility about stepping into such an iconic role, even admitting that he grew up watching the show. But humility off-air has not necessarily translated into subtlety on-air, and fans are noticing the disconnect. Critics are quick to emphasize that the issue is not Seacrest's professionalism, which is widely respected, but rather that the DNA of Wheel of Fortune may not be a natural fit with his personality. The backlash has intensified as ratings data reveals a slight but measurable dip since Seacrest's debut. While still strong compared to many primetime programs, viewership has softened among older demographics, the same loyal audience that has kept the show alive for generations. Analysts suggest that if the negative chatter continues, it could create a narrative problem for producers, where the perception of decline becomes more damaging than the actual numbers. Television historian Robert Thompson explained in a recent interview that Wheel of Fortune is not just a show. It's a ritual. When rituals are altered, especially for audiences that value consistency, even small changes can feel seismic. He pointed out that the risk isn't necessarily losing millions of viewers overnight but eroding the trust that makes people tune in regularly. Meanwhile, Vanna White remains the steadying presence she has always been, continuing her letter-turning duties with grace. Fans often point out that her presence provides a link to the show's golden years, but some even fear that the chemistry between White and Seacrest doesn't have the same effortless quality that existed with Sajak. Memes comparing White's subtle size to silent commentary on Seacrest's style have gained traction online, though it's unclear whether those observations reflect reality or simply the internet's appetite for drama. Producers have been relatively quiet in response to the uproar, but behind the scenes, conversations are reportedly happening about how to balance Seacrest's strengths with the show's time-honored format. A source close to production told one entertainment outlet that feedback is being monitored closely and adjustments may be made in response to audience reaction. However, making those changes without appearing to undermine Seacrest is a delicate task. Supporters of Seacrest are also speaking up, reminding critics that every host transition in television history comes with an adjustment period. Some argue that Sarjic himself faced skepticism early in his run and that audiences simply need time to adapt. Younger viewers, less attached to tradition, appear to be less critical, with some praising Seacrest for injecting a fresher, more contemporary energy into the show. The generational divide highlights a deeper question: should Wheel of Fortune remain frozen in time, or evolve to attract new audiences? Beyond the stylistic critique, the controversy underscores the fragile nature of television loyalty in the modern era. Audiences now have endless options at their fingertips, and even minor dissatisfaction can lead to tune-outs. With streaming services offering endless alternatives, legacy shows like Wheel of Fortune must walk a tightrope between maintaining nostalgia and embracing relevance. Seacrest's challenge is emblematic of this broader dilemma. From a cultural perspective, the debate touches on America's relationship with change itself. For millions, Wheel of Fortune represents not just a game show but a comforting constant in a rapidly shifting world. Seeing that constant disrupted, even in subtle ways, feels to many like a personal loss. It's no surprise, then, that fans use words as strong as awful to describe the discomfort. Language like that may seem exaggerated, but it speaks to the depth of emotional investment viewers have in the show. Looking ahead, the question remains whether Seacrest will adapt to fan expectations or double down on his approach. His career longevity suggests he is capable of reading a room and adjusting accordingly, but the clock is ticking for him to win over skeptics before the dissatisfaction hardens into permanent disconnection. If the producers lean into fan feedback, Seacrest might tone down his commentary, perhaps finding a middle ground between his natural hosting instincts and the minimalist style that defined Sarjic's legacy. If not, the show risks a more significant ratings slide, which could eventually force more dramatic changes. At its core, this controversy is a testament to the enduring power of Wheel of Fortune. Few programs could inspire such passionate discourse over something as seemingly small as a host's tone or timing. Yet, the fact that it does speaks volumes about the show's cultural imprint and the affection viewers feel toward its traditions. As fans debate, critics analyze, and producers strategize, one truth remains: the wheel will keep spinning, but whether the audience continues to watch with the same devotion depends heavily on how Ryan Seacrest navigates this delicate moment. For now, the story of Seacrest's awful change is less about one man's hosting style and more about the fragile dance between progress and preservation in television history. The next episodes may determine whether he cements himself as a worthy successor or becomes a cautionary tale in the annals of game show lore. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe our Talent Spotlight Adult YouTube channel for more update news.